Hey, good morning, good afternoon, evening, whatever time zone it is for you guys and gals. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be doing the Dish Wars results. So we're going to be making ourselves a delicious fish finger sandwich. So we're going to be using some cod, which we're going to cut and pan flour, egg, and panko crumb. We're going to fry them off, cook them down to a nice golden crisp. We're also going to make some fresh homemade bread for the slices for the sandwich, homemade tartar sauce, pickled dill pickles, and then some crinkle cut chips as well. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. So let's crack on for today. Thank you so much. What we're going to do, 500 grams. I'm going to give this a little cheeky sieve. Now, I don't usually do, but I should really. But as I'm remembering today, let's do it. So let's sieve this out very nicely. Got salt and sugar, so I'm going to go about 10 grams of salt and 10 grams of sugar. Don't want to go too crazy, so we'll see. Cool, sugar, salt. We also want oil, because we want a little bit of softness. Hey, chap, how you doing? You all right? Thank you for the shout-out for cheese. And if you guys aren't following Mr. Cheese Pizza, he makes some wonderful... Well, it says it in his name. He makes pizzas. He makes some absolutely fantastic pizzas. So if you love pizzas, go check him out. He's an awesome chap, good friend of mine. Please go give him a follow. Go check out his stream. You won't be disappointed. 30 mil. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Oil, salt, flour, sugar. That's it so far. We'll get the water and the yeast. Now, it's really important that you make sure that you have your jug, weigh out the water, but also the most important thing is to make sure, words today, the temperature. So if it's like above 40 or any further than that, you'll end up killing the yeast. So 40 Celsius, or what's that in Fahrenheit? Is that like 100 something Fahrenheit? I'm pretty sure it is. But the optimal temperature I usually go for is about 35 Celsius, which is 95 Fahrenheit, which is actually a good temperature to have for the yeasts. If you're not sure, just use a thermometer just to check on the temperature, so you're pretty happy with it. So look, 275 I feel like is pretty good, or 280. 280. There we go, perfect. What we're going to do, add the water. So I'm just going to mix this in. Really important to mix this in because, you know, if you have the salt kind of concentrated in one area, potentially it can kill some of the yeast off. So just kind of incorporate it so it's all incorporated very nicely, so we won't kind of have a little concentrate of salt somewhere. So, but that'll be fine. It's only if you've got like a big mound somewhere and then you pour the water in. I need about 3 to 4 teaspoons of dried active yeast. So 4 teaspoons. I think this packet is pretty much almost gone. So it's giving this a nice little mix. That's dissolving really nicely in the warm water. So I'm going to pour this straight into the dough. That's what he's pretty much really like. But, you know, just for show purposes like Hell's Kitchen and stuff, of course he's going to be shouting because that's all part of the show, isn't it? So, you know, I'm going to give this a nice little mix round so we've got the liquid in there. So get your hands in there. Kind of want to take my ring off, but it's all right. So get your hands in there, or do your one hand, whichever. Just give that a nice little mix round. Might need a touch more water, but that's okay. I got the warm water beside me, so if I need to add a little bit more, we can do so. It's all pretty much bound together. Keep this, don't put it in the wash, because you're going to need it. So what I'm going to do is just take the dough off my fingers. I'm just going to kind of rub this in. Now, it's really kind of important when you're kneading this to make sure you use the heels of your hands to kind of knead the dough. So you're stretching that gluten, you're stretching it so you can build structure for your bread, ready for when it's ready to proof. Picking all the bits up. Here we go. So workout number 2. Already had my workout this morning with the P90X MMX. Doing a little bit of martial arts. Goodness me. So we're going to do this for about 5 minutes, making sure we're working it. If you want to use the KitchenAid, if you've got one with the dough hook, you can do that instead. Why not give yourself a little bit of goodness and do some exercise, right? So, what can go wrong with bread? Okay, so there we go. It's good to go. Looking fantastic. Okay, so that's great. It feels nice and warm as well. So this is going to be great for the proofing. So there we go. It's good to go. Got a little bit of flour here. just going to dust a little bit on top, and then we're going to cling film it. I'm going to put it in my warm room. Now you want to kind of put it somewhere nice, nice and high, but somewhere safe. It's not going to land on your head or balancing it on the top of a door or something stupid like that. You want to put it somewhere nice and high. Reason for it: heat rises, cold sinks. So somewhere nice and high, it's going to be nice and warm. I'm going to put it in my back room because it's nice and warm in there. I'm going to put it on top of the shelf, and it should be fine. It worked a treat the other day. Let's get the tartar sauce made next. So, yeah, these eggies are still good. Let's use these 2 yolks, so I don't want to waste them. Let's have a look. 2 yolks. But where's the punchline? What punchline? There's no yolking about today, I'm afraid. Oh, there it is. There it is. Right. Teaspoon of mustard. A little bit more. I don't go too mustardy with this, but there we go. Here's my little serrated knife. Or as they like to call it, tomato knives. Yep. There we go. So about 1/4 of lemon juice. You don't really need to go too crazy. Oh, my cuts on my hands. Catching the pips. There we go. So adding little by little, blending it, adding some more. It looks kind of loose at the moment, but that's fine. You just keep adding the oil. It'll eventually... oh, I think that's the higher speed. It'll eventually emulsify. Beautiful. There we go. So there's our mayonnaise. Super thick. Like Twitch chat loves it. Dill. We want some capers. Parsley. Oh, I wanted to make some pickled cucumbers, didn't I? So I have actually got pickles in the fridge, so... yeah, that's okay. Okay. I'll use the pickles in the fridge that I've got. That's okay. But I'm going to make my own pickled cucumber as well. So, dill, red onion. So top and tail. Cut in half. And take those little cheeky skins off. Fantastic. I'm going to wrap this one up because I'm only going to use half, so we're not going to go too crazy with it. So we're only going to be using half of it anyway, so but that's okay. So we're going to cut down horizontally into little layers, almost all the way through. But you can see I'm kind of stopping, so you don't want to go all the way through. So it's just holding it together. So I'm going to get those nice little layers down to a T. Now, obviously, the more layers you can get into the onion, the more finer dice you're going to get out of this. So just bear that in mind. Okay. And then we're just going to cut it down vertically. Not cutting all the way through again, just leaving that top bit of root firm together. So I'm not using this whole onion. It's a little bit too much for what we want for today, but that's okay. So let me just dice that little bit off. That's just kind of come off. There we go. Right, so what we're going to do is just cut down. Okay, so onions are in. Fantastic. I'm going to get a few capers as well. I do need some pickles, which I got in the fridge. Everyone bullies me. Well, no, they don't bully you. You just try and troll the streamer, and you get put in your place and you don't like it. So it's not really called bullying, buddy. It's not my fault you get put in your place by your own cause. I say it how it is. Slice this up very nicely. Minus the onions. With your fingers. Okay. Perfect, so that's all going to go in there for our tartar sauce. Let's have a look. Pickles. Oh yeah, I've got some here. I think they're still good. Been a while since I've opened these, but let's have a little little taste. They're pretty good. They're more sweet pickles, though. I think that's more of an American thing, isn't it? I find British pickles are more vinegary, whereas UK pickle... Oh, sorry. Yeah. Whereas US pickles are more sweet. But they're not always sweet, right? Beautiful. Right, so look, excuse me, guys. So this is curly parsley. You can also get like flat leaf parsley as well if you wanted to. You know, options yours. So using your middle finger. Oops, it's okay. I'll take an Instagram of the dough when it comes out, when it's proved. Just take one of this now as well. Right, so that's the parsley in there. We're just going to give that a nice little mix round without pouring it everywhere. There we go. So I haven't made too much. So there you go. That beautiful tartar sauce. Good to go. Don't forget the dill. Almost forgot the dill. Though we actually got dill pickles in there, so yeah, just a little sprig. We don't want to go too crazy. That's why I couldn't notice the taste. You don't want to go too crazy with it. Just a little bit of dill. Medina. You can use whatever vinegar, cider vinegar, malt vinegar, whatever you fancy. White wine vinegar. I want about roughly 50 ml. There we go. I'm going to top this up with 500 ml of water. And I'm going to have a little bit of sweetness in there as well. I'm going to get some honey, because, you know, honey's very good for you. About 3 tablespoons. You and I'm guessing you mean Manda, right? Renting the place, John. It looks very swish. Yes, actually the family owns it. So, and it's close. Oh, I've already taken this off. And it's close by our family. So, yeah, it's pretty nice here. So, just take the end piece off. I want to go kind of thick on these. I don't want to go like tiny little slices. You want to know it's in the sandwich. So, I don't want these to be like really strong with really vinegary. Just want to be a nice little kind of pickling. So, also need to dice some dill down next. So, we'll do that in a second. Oh, that's good. Perfect. There's a nice bit of sweetness in there. A nice balance of sharpness. So, beautiful. So that's good to go. I'm going to let that cool down for a little bit. Then we're going to add the cucumbers. And then we're going to let that kind of pickle down. You know, if you want to have a stronger pickle in it, do it the day before. You can do that. So that's good to go. I feel like we can get the crinkle cut chips up next. So as we got the board up. Right, I feel like this is a little bit too long. So I'm going to cut these down a little bit. So there we go. Look at that. Look at that beautiful cut. Magic. So, skin on. So, I'll pop these straight in. Yeah, those crisscross fries are really good. I mean, you could do something similar, but you just have the one kind of cut, you know, the crinkle. So, you could do it, but it wouldn't be a crisscross effect, if that makes sense. You'd need to do that on that special mandolin. Alrighty, so let's top this up with water. And then we're going to pop this onto the stove. And we're going to cook these down for about roughly 5 minutes from boiling. You don't want to cook them too far. 5-10 minutes. Now, obviously, the thicker, the longer they're going to take to cook. But you want to cook them to a point where they're soft, but they're still holding their shape. And what I mean by that is they're soft enough, but if you put enough pressure on your finger and thumb, you can break them. So that's what we're looking for, just to soften them up. You don't want to cook them where they're going to turn to mash. You'll have to start again. So just make sure you cook them down for between 5 and 10 minutes from boiling. Full ridged skin-on fries are ready to go. So they're going to come up to a nice little heat. We're going to add a little touch of salt to this as well for seasoning. Not going to go too crazy. 2 pinches should be fine. The cucumbers are pickling. I was going to say the pickles are pickling, but yeah. Cucumbers are pickling nicely. I'm going to let that cool down a little bit more before that goes in the fridge. And you can give that a few hours just to kind of help develop that flavour. So that's good to go. That beautiful bread dough, look at that. Chat, can you smell it? Oh wait, yeah, you haven't got smell-o-vision yet. That's okay. Oh, it smells so good. Ready for the bun, so look at that. Look at that. So pretty much knocking all the air out of it. There we go. So. Boop, 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 boop. That song's stuck in my head now. Thanks, Cedars. I appreciate it. Right. Okay, so there's our cheeky loaf. A little touch of oil. Or a shout out. So I can give a follow as well. Right. So very gently drop that in. Magic. So that's in there. It will proof very nicely. Most important thing, we're going to oil the top. Reason for it, when we put the cling film over, it's going to stick and it's going to rise, but we don't want that cling film to stick to it. So by putting some oil on top will actually really help. So we've got some beautiful cod. Let me flick this across so you guys and gals can see. So nice bit of cod, which I bought. I froze it down though, unfortunately, because obviously buying it on Saturday, by the time it comes today, it will be very smelly. How are these chippies looking? Let me give me 2 seconds on that cod, because I need to look at these crinkle cut chips. Right, how are we looking? Yep, we're good. So as you can see there, put a bit of pressure on. Oof, broken, so that's good. Right, so let's cut these down into little cheeky fingers. So there's our cod, ready to rock and roll. We drained it and popped them back into the pan, not in the pan, but just to kind of drain off in the colander. So these are drying out really nicely. The more drier, the better. So just leave them for like a couple of minutes just to do their thing. Let them to drain off really nicely. So we're going to get a nice little tray. Maybe I need 2 trays, we'll see. I'll start with the first one, and if we need another one, I'll get another one. We don't want to overfill the tray. That's what's the most important thing. Right, okay, so. Oh, we're not going to go too crazy on the oil, and then he just kind of splurges it out a little bit. So that's okay, that's fine. So let's give this a nice little coat. By the time the chips are ready, the bread will be ready to go in. So I'm going to pop these in. So thank you so much, amigo. Ooh, wowzers, they're looking good. There we go. Whew. Very hot. Yeah, I don't want to cook these too far. These are looking very nice and brown and crispy, so. How crispy are they, chef? I'll tell you now. Don't do it, chef! Why? Let's pan in our fish fingers then. So flour, egg, and breadcrumb. I didn't want to cut the tail end up. I just kept it as it is. Panko's in the best on fish. And I'd say this as a vegetarian. That's fair enough. Yeah, I like panko. I mean, you can batter it if you want, or beer batter it. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, my man. How's your cheeky Wednesday going? I was going to say Thursday. Thursday's tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be very eventful. So I've been looking, what kind of fish are you using? We're using cod today, my friend. That's no problem at all. You don't need to be sorry. Nobody ever needs to be sorry in my chat. And before somebody does it, before you troll me, but chef, you told me not to be sorry. So it's my fish fingers. Beautiful. Right, let's have a look at this bread. Let's go grab the bread and see what we're like. There it is. Right, there we go. But that's looking good. How do you know it's like overproofed? So usually a test, right? When it doesn't bounce back like that, it needs to go in the oven. And usually, if it starts to sink or drop, it's been overproofed. It kind of comes down to experience, I guess, at the end of the day, and you'll know how long it's been there for and if it will actually hold itself or not. So, right, this is going to go in, so this is good. Where's my peanut oil gone? Oh, wait. It's on the mask. Oh, there we go. I wonder where it was. I was going to say. Right, so I'm just going to drop a bit of peanut oil in there. Just a shallow. We're going to shallow fry this. So, I'm not going too crazy. There we go. We're about there. Okay, that's fine. Let's pop these in now. It's more of a lower temperature. Because basically, if you have it on too high, what will happen? You'll end up burning the breadcrumbs. And the fish being raw in the middle. So, look at that. They look very codalicious, shall I say. This is going to be a hell of a sandwich to fit in, I feel. Maybe we need to cut them in half, possibly. But we'll see. Right. We're done. They need to go back in. Ah! Yeah, it's hot. Look at that. Look at that beautiful loaf. I wonder. It's probably going to make an absolute mess, but just curious. Just to see what happens. Yeah. It's not going to spread. Well, kind of. It kind of spread. A little bit. Still a little hot. But I'm not going to get you guys to wait forever. But look at that beautiful loaf. That's what we're talking about, right? Homemade, beautiful loaf. Look. Let's have a look. Oh, baby. It's nice and soft on the inside. So, I'm just going to go with it. But yeah, you always want to kind of let the loaf cool down before slicing. But I feel like we won't have the time to wait that long. So, what I will do, though, just put that back up there. The homemade tartar sauce. Let's get that little bad boy on there. I feel like on both slices, right? You want it on both slices. That's what we're kind of looking for. Fantastic. It's always good. Right. Oh my lordy lord. Look at that fish finger. Pure cod meat. None of that processed stuff. I got a feeling these fish finger sandwiches, right? They might be a little thick. Is that okay, chat? Is it okay if it's a little thick? Are you happy with that? I get it. Right, so let's get that cross section cut. You ready for it? I hope so. Oh, a baby. Look at that cheeky fish finger sandwich. Ah! So there it is. There is our fish finger sandwich. Homemade fries. Or thick cut crinkle fries. Homemade tartar sauce. Homemade bread. And homemade fish fingers. So it's not the frozen processed. Panade ourselves with cod. So we cut the cod, panade, flour, egg and breadcrumb. And then just shallow fried them. Fantastic. And then some cheeky dill, pickle, cucumbers in there as well. Fantastic. Let's have a little zoom in on it as well. Make sure you guys are happy. You can see everything. So, as I said, with the fresh homemade bread, if it was a bit warmer here, it would have been a lot better. But I'm still pretty happy with the quality. Homemade chips. These are baked, not fried chips as well. So a little bit more on the healthy side, but still crunchy, still soft in the center. Absolutely beautiful. Camera. Hello. There we go. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow, bright and early at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Much loves. Bye for now, guys.